Hi, Mr. Marshall. Thanks for taking the call. Some of my workers are now too comfortable working from home and they refuse to return. What can I do?
In law, you have the right to call them back to work when you want. If they refuse, you can take that to mean that they have quit their job.
Can I make an exception and let some of my better workers keep working from home?
Yes, every situation is different. If a good worker feels very strongly about continuing to work from home, you may wish to make an exception. However, it must be the exception. If your business has reopened during the pandemic, you need to request that everyone return to your place of business. In that case, the law will be on your side. If you don't do that for, let's say, one or two workers, then you change your mind later on, the law will not be on your side. You may be sued by a worker that refuses to come back to the office. So for your good workers, I strongly urge you to find out what their concerns are. How strongly do they feel about returning to work? And is this actually about working at home versus working at the office? Perhaps it's something else, such as a concern about health or hygiene concerns, traveling to or being at the office. If you do make the exception, whatever you do, make sure they understand that you're basically doing them a favor, and so therefore you need to put it in writing.
If I let my employees work from home, how can I make sure they aren't breaking the rules?
You need to be clear. The rules that apply in the office also apply while they're working at home. So make sure that you communicate any kind of protocols, any kind of guidelines that you have in writing, including getting them to acknowledge they've received these protocols or guidelines. If you've given them laptops, smartphones, make sure they understand it's company property, only to be used for company business. Any misuse of these devices, such as defaming another worker, such as going onto a pornographic website, will result in penalties. That needs to be spelled out very clearly. Follow up with your workers by checking their laptops every once in a while to ensure that they're actually following your rules.
One of my employees who is working from home says she has to look after her children. School has ended now and daycares are closed. Can I require that she return to work?
Perhaps. In law, you do have to take into account that she is a parent, which means you cannot discriminate against her because she has children. So effectively, you have to work out an accommodation regarding her children, a compromise that works for both you and for her. But at the same time, you have the right as the employer to expect that each employee will perform her duties to the best of her ability. So let me give you an example. Let's say for your office has reopened during the pandemic and your best worker refuses to return to work because of her children at home. In that case, talk to her. Let's say you find out that she has a husband that works from home who also looks after the kids. In that case, she may work some days in the office, she may work some days at home. And when she is at home, make sure that there's a time period off during the day that you're aware of where she can look after the children. Now here you're making an exception for her because she's a really good worker. So firm this all up, put it in writing.
I'm using the Canada Emergency Wage Subsidy for the staff working from home. The government pays 75% of their wages. Should I pay the other 25%?
That's another great question. Tell you what, I'm going to answer that question in greater detail. Right now, I've got to get back to work, and I'm sure you do as well. Oh, you're still here. You must really like us. Well, we like you too. That's why if you have any specific legal questions about your business during the pandemic, or if you have any legal questions in general, then please send us an email, give us a call, and we'll be happy to answer your questions, give you clarity, and help you in any way we can.